Alabama has another star wide receiver who should be a future first round pick, and 17-year-old Ryan Williams. Williams, who is supposed to be a senior in high school right now, is breaking college football through his first 3 games of his freshman year. This is the story of Ryan Williams, the 17-year-old who is breaking college football. But before we get into this, if you enjoy college football content like this, make sure to leave a like and subscribe. Also, let me know who your favorite freshman is so far this season in the comment section below. Ryan Hollywood Williams was born on February 9th, 2007, and grew up in Saraland, Alabama. From a young age, Ryan would tell everyone he was going to be the best wide receiver in the country. He would earn the nickname Hollywood when he was 6 or 7 years old due to his standout performance on the youth football field. His father told Tuscaloosa News, basically, when he was little, he used to put on a show. He had like fantasy draft numbers, like 5 or 6 touchdowns a game. So it started off in the house. We called him Hollywood. Eventually the neighborhood, eventually the city caught on, and it stuck every time he got on the field. Ryan's father, Ryan Williams Sr., played college football at Auburn in 2007, before transferring to Copi Lincoln Community College in Mississippi for 1 year, and became a starter at Louisiana Tech in 2010. Ryan would play high school football at Saraland High School, where he would go on to become the state's most prolific playmaking prospect. He earned a spot on the varsity team as a freshman, playing in 10 games, finishing with 27 receptions for 289 yards and 4 touchdowns, also having a passing touchdown. His sophomore year would be when he broke out as a superstar, as during the 2022 season, he finished the year with 88 receptions for 1,641 yards and 24 touchdowns, averaging 18.6 yards per reception. He also had 700 rushing yards on the ground and 15 touchdowns, averaging 12.3 yards per carry, while also throwing for a touchdown and returning 2 punts for a touchdown. He would become the first sophomore in Alabama State history to be named Mr. Football by the Alabama Sports Writers, and was named the 2022 Alabama Gatorade Player of the Year. He also led the Spartans to the 6A state title. As a junior, he finished with 72 receptions for 1,324 yards and 19 touchdowns, while also having 261 rushing yards and 7 touchdowns on the ground. He also returned a punt and a kickoff for a score. The championship game against Clay Chalkville, he found the end zone 3 times, racking up 343 all-purpose yards, though they would lose in the state title game 31-28. He was once again named the Alabama Gatorade Player of the Year and Alabama Mr. Football. Ryan finished his high school career as Alabama's first ever back-to-back Mr. Football and Gatorade Player of the Year, with more than 5,000 all-purpose yards and 72 total touchdowns. He would choose to skip his senior year of high school to reclassify for the 2024 recruiting cycle. He also impressed in track and field and played on the basketball team. His high school coach still speaks highly of him, telling Yellow Hammer, "Ryan is an amazing young man. He's a great player. He's explosive. He's going to play football for a long time. He's handling everything really well. There's probably a lot of growth that he is going to continue. This week will be a new challenge and a different level of competition that he plays this week. Everything that has come his way, he's handled it in the right way. He's handled competition the right way. The people that really don't know Ryan, they don't understand how extremely competitive he's wired. It's not normal to have that type of drive and work ethic and expectation and all those things that he puts on himself." Coming out of high school, according to 24/7 Sports Composite, Ryan Williams was a 5-star recruit who was the 4th best player in the 2024 recruiting cycle. He received over 26 different Division I offers from the likes of Alabama, Auburn, Arkansas, Colorado, and Texas A&M. Williams Sr. spoke on his son's recruitment, saying, "I went through the recruiting process myself. It's now 16 or 17 years later, the game has changed in a lot of ways. Being able to walk him through the basics and walk with him and learn with him, it's been great. It's crazy to witness his fame. For me, I'm proud. He built that side of it up on his own, as far as his fame, but for me as a dad sitting back, that's my child. It makes me proud." He's projected to be a future first-round pick with a comparison to Devontae Smith. Williams committed to Alabama back in October of 2022, would decommit from the Crimson Tide the day after Nick Saban retired. When Kalen DeBoer was hired as head coach, he and wide receiver coach Jamarcus Shepard quickly got Ryan on campus to secure a recommitment, and he basically became the first major recruit win for DeBoer at Alabama. Saban spoke on Ryan, saying, "I think it's really important to note guys like Ryan who had the patience to give DeBoer the opportunity to visit with them, to come and visit, and guys didn't just bolt without making an evaluation. I think some of those guys are probably sorry because Alabama is a special place, and DeBoer's going to do a great job there. I appreciate the Ryan Williamses of the world that didn't do that. At the end of the day, Ryan was a foundation piece for the early days of the Kalen DeBoer era at Alabama." When Ryan Williams arrived on campus, he quickly garnered the respect of the Alabama locker room. While most players enter Alabama as highly rated recruits, with a lot of acclaim coming out of high school, a lot don't get to see the field as a true freshman due to how much talent is on the roster. Offensive lineman Tyler Booker, who started as a freshman himself, told The Athletic, "The locker room can kind of tell which freshmen are going to play early because of the respect that freshmen garner. When I was a freshman, I really wasn't treated like a freshman. What I mean by that is like a lot was expected of me, but that's how I was because of how I carried myself." Ryan was not just any normal freshman. He was supposed to be a senior in high school this year, but chose to reclassify and joined Alabama this season. Although he was only 17 years old, barely able to drive in some states of the US, and unable to even vote yet, he came in acting like a pro. He enrolled at Alabama in June, and quickly made a name for himself. Kalen DeBoer told The Athletic back in July, "The thing that has impressed me the most about Ryan is his maturity. Maturity and understanding what the commitment level is that it takes in this program, at the Division I level. He's putting in the extra time, and he's just a playmaker. You can already see that just in the little things he's been able to do with us this summer. Excited about him as well as some of the other guys that have been brought in. They're hungry. They see that this is a great moment for them to step up, and they're getting ready." While senior defensive back Malachi Moore spoke on Williams, saying he's very mature for his age. "A lot of things that he's done in practice are shocking. He has the ability, but he also has the brains. He's smart and knowledgeable as a freshman can be, and even a year behind age-wise. He's something I don't think I've ever seen when it comes to Alabama, skipping a grade and going to college and performing as well as he's done." Ryan had the opportunity to get playing time early at Alabama due to the Crimson Tide losing 3 of their top pass catchers from last season. He quickly developed a relationship with starting quarterback Jalen Milroe, who was happy to get Ryan on campus early. Milroe told The Athletic, "He was a guy that came in the summertime, so for me, it's about building chemistry and getting to know my teammates. I try to get to know Ryan. He's trying to master the game plan and master us as a group. It's new. I was a guy that came in, and it was all about finding your place and trying to get better and also meeting new guys. That's a guy that I tried to build a relationship with, our reps together. He's done a really good job. Building, getting together, and he's that guy that's well liked around the whole campus and by all of the coaching staff. He's a guy that's a key resource for Alabama." Ryan would not just see early playing time for Alabama, but he has dominated so far this season. Although Ryan is going against guys who are bigger, older, and more physical than the guys he went up against in high school, that has not stopped him from putting up big numbers this year. He started for Alabama on their first offensive snap for a reason. In the season opener against Western Kentucky, he caught 2 passes for 139 receiving yards and 2 touchdowns, averaging 69.5 yards per reception. In the second game of the season, he caught 4 passes for 68 yards and a touchdown. A touchdown that would start a run for Alabama as they pulled away from USF. Alabama drew up several shot plays for Williams throughout the game, and while they didn't hit on any of the deep throws, Williams did draw a couple of pass interference penalties that helped move the ball for the Tide offense that spent most of the evening stuck in neutral. In both games, he led the team in receiving, but his first real test would come against Wisconsin on Fox's Big Noon kickoff. In Alabama's 42-10 dismantling of my Badgers, it was a rough day for me. Williams played extremely well. He helped give Alabama the lead on a 31-yard reception after burning the corner and finished the game with 4 receptions for 78 yards and a touchdown. Right before half, he had a 47-yard gain that set Alabama up for another touchdown, as well as helped the Crimson Tide go up 21-3 at halftime, having me say the game was over as a Badger fan. Granted, it was basically over when Tyler Van Dyke went down with the season-ending ACL injury on the first drive. Ryan is doing all this without having gone through spring practice with Alabama earlier this year. Through 3 games, he has 10 receptions for 285 yards and 4 touchdowns. He is exploding onto the scene like Julio Jones did in 2008, Amari Cooper in 2012, and Calvin Ridley in 2015, while it took guys like Jerry Jeudy, Devontae Smith, and Henry Ruggs until 2018 to all break out as stars, although they saw playing time in 2017. Cooper, Jeudy, and Smith were Biletnikoff winners. Amari Cooper was a Heisman finalist, while Devontae Smith won the Heisman. Aside from Williams, only Julio Jones was the clear-cut number 1 option the moment he stepped on the field for Alabama. Cooper and Ridley became the number 1 options as the season went on. Julio Jones set the record with the most receiving yards as a freshman. Cooper broke that record with 1,000 receiving yards his freshman year, and Ridley broke his record with 1,045 receiving yards. Williams is on track to break the record in the Iron Bowl before Conference Title Week and the College Football Playoff, meaning he may shatter the record, and he is doing this all at the age of 17. He even caught the attention of former Wisconsin running back and former 17-year-old phenom Braylon Allen over the weekend. Allen tweeted, "I see what y'all were saying about the 17-year-old stuff now," and explained the tweet saying, "Context. The Bama freshman wide receiver is 17 years old. I was also 17 years old as a freshman, and the broadcast would mention my age repeatedly like they were doing for the Bama kid." Ryan Williams is only 3 games into his career and already looks like a future superstar. What do you think? Does Ryan Williams end his college career a few years from now as an Alabama great? Let me know in the comment section below. If you enjoyed this video, make sure to check out one of my other videos YouTube thinks you will love right here. Thank you so much for watching, and as always, remember to embrace the grind.